recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios, Meanjin, Brisbane.
On 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Zed Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture. Want to reach out?
Share your hot take?
Or do you just want to share your favourite game?
Find us on socials at ZED Games AU.
Yes, this is Zed Games. I'm your host Paul, and joining me tonight is my good friend Tom.
That's me.
Tom, and how are things in your world?
Things are pretty good.
Yeah.
It's weird. I think we're getting to another video game crunch time for me personally with some of the upcoming releases, including stuff that's coming out today.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that after the news. But
yeah.
Well, how about you, Paul? No one asks how you're doing. How are you?
Oh, the world's a crazy place. So I'm still on my mini goal of maybe trying to focus my gaming into an area, so I'm not quite so trying to encompass it all, holistic view of gaming, but it's hard because there's so many cool things out there, so I'll just keep going mad, I think.
Yeah.
But before I go completely mad, let's actually just jump in some of that so-called news. News. Anyway, hello again, Tom.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, I'm still here.
Quite brief news today because we've got a lot that we want to cover tonight. But first up, just a little note for all of you From Software freaks out there, of which there are many. If you are a Switch 2 player and you want to get in on the closed network test for Duskbloods coming out, those applications are open now and remain open for the next 6 days, I think, at this point. So yeah, you can just go Google that. We all know how to Google.
Yeah, that's still a thing.
Yeah,
just fight.
Just yell at the AI.
Yeah. Scroll past it and you'll find the right answer.
After all the turmoil of most of Xbox getting fired and from the ashes, we have an official announcement that Fallout 5 is now in pre-production. We're using the Creation Engine 3 and the Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas remasters, which were totally very secret and no one knew were coming, officially coming. Not exactly surprising. They pulled Obsidian off their new RPG to make Fallout again.
Yeah. Although, I don't know if I would, treat this news as, particularly exciting when you look at how long ago they announced Elder Scrolls 6.
I think I've told the story a few times. The day that they announced it, someone at work, a tradie, was in, and he's like, oh, man, yeah, my wife's pregnant. It'll be great when the baby comes. I'll be able to sit down and play it. I'm like, man, your child will be old enough to play that game when it comes out. And he looked with so much sadness in his eyes because he did not understand. And that statement gets truer and truer every day.
It's a sad truth, but I'm sure it'll be great when it turns up.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting having these legacy that want to go on the big IPs, which kind of means they have to be big as well. And big these days means very expensive, very big. And it's kind of that's what gets you into the trouble as well.
Yeah.
So because Obsidian had a apocalyptic RPG in development, and they've cancelled that to make more Fallout.
Yeah.
So that could have been smaller, it could have been a bit weirder, could have done anything, but now it's got to be a big thing again.
Yeah.
So, in kind of good Xbox news though, they have announced that they are bringing backwards compatible Xbox games to PC. That's lovely.
Yeah.
So now they have got 4 currently that are playable. You can play Blink the Time Sweeper.
Yep.
Fusion Frenzy.
Great game.
Conquer.
Okay game.
And Crimson Skies.
Great game.
A great game, yeah. Actually a really good game. So if you already have a license for them, you can now download them and play on PC. And they will continue to add achievements to those old games and do some graphical updates like they have previously on the Xbox consoles. So that's good, and it's supposed to be an ongoing thing. So that's cool because there are a couple of pretty good gems on the Xbox, which are harder to play now.
Yeah.
So
when are we getting Steel Battalion back on the backwards compatibility?
If they could do it, because I have the controller.
Yeah. Ship out. Why don't we get Xbox in amidst all of these expensive chip shortages and stuff like that? Spend some money on a very niche controller so I can buy it.
I mean, honestly, you can't buy RAM, but you could probably buy a controller.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. We also have some upcoming game releases, and a bunch of these aren't even upcoming because they're today. Today has brought us Splatoon Raiders.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Looks really good.
Yeah, I got really excited earlier in the week. I'm like, yeah, I am going to play that.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. We have Disgaea Mayhem coming to PC, Switch 2, and PlayStation 5. We have Cultic coming to Switch 2, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. That's already on PC. It's like a boomer shooter. And Avatar Legends, the fighting game, comes to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Switch 2, PC, and X. Oh, no.
What was that last one?
A few hours before it was supposed to release, they announced that it's actually not going to come out on Xbox today. I'm like, okay.
Well, there's other places you can play it.
Yeah, so it's been delayed till September 3.
Oof.
So it's a bigger release. And also the Switch version doesn't have crossplay and doesn't have any localization beyond English.
Yeah. I mean...
Which doesn't affect me personally.
Yeah, and I mean, Avatar was like English first, so it's not really like you're going to have some purists being like, it should have been in the Japanese dub.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. But still, that might help you guide your purchase for it.
Yes. If you had your sights set on it, you got to look elsewhere at the moment. Coming on tomorrow, we've got a very exciting Dino Blade coming to PC.
Oh, yeah?
That's a dinosaur, you've got a sword.
Yeah, that's cool.
Tormentum 2 coming to PC.
Oh, cool.
High Times coming to PC, Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. And Dodo Ducky coming to PC and Xbox, which is a cool 2D, 3D puzzle platformer like Crushed or any of those games, you know, where you turn it 3D and then you crush it down into 2D and move through it.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Sorry,
I am also very excited about Tormentum 2.
Oh, yes.
That was an incredible survival horror game that was exclusive to the Nintendo DS.
I think we're talking about different Tormentum.
Oh, no, am I thinking of Tormentum?
This is a PC
is this
adventure game. Point and click. Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Dementum.
Dementium. That did have that has been remade on PC. It's it's like it was also like The Ward.
Yeah.
It's like a horror first-person game from the DS.
Yeah, but Tormentum does have cool art though. That's the one. Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
And then July 28th will bring us Halo Campaign Evolved, which is the sort of remake with a few like adjustments and content changes coming to PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox.
And heads up, if you want to play co-op through the campaign on PlayStation, be wary, you can't just do couch co-op. You will need to have a friend that is playing on their own PlayStation with their own copy of it and PSN.
Not having couch co-op is one of those things like Gears of War. If it doesn't have couch co-op to me, I'm like, that
Why would
is
you?
the whole thing.
Yeah.
For me, but you know, that other people like don't.
Yeah.
Aren't there.
So
And-
buyers beware.
EverQuest Legend, which I don't particularly mind because I don't play MMOs, but if you were an EverQuest person, this is sort of bringing back the original EverQuest in a more accessible, less grindy, like you can still do everything you used to do, but with a whole bunch of accessibility and quality of life things into it. So I know some MMO freaks are loving it. And that brings me to the end of this week's news. And we're going to jump right into reviews.
Yeah.
Quick. We're going to try and hit a few tonight, so let's get in quick. We are going to talk about Denshattack. You know what Denshattack is, Tom?
I do. What if grinding rails as a bus was like cool and you did Tony Hawk style tricks and drifted?
It's a train, my friend. When I first saw this, so we're looking at a very bright sort of 90s Dreamcast era aesthetic. And it is just looking wild. Like things are exploding everywhere. You're going through mountains. It's like, what is going? And then it's like, oh, you're a train. I'm like, how interesting could it possibly be to be on a train the whole time? And you know, you're thinking like Crazy Taxi, Jet Grind Radio, things like that. You know, you're supposed to explore.
Yeah.
Oh my, how wrong I am. This game is insane. It feels less like amazing to be in this world of, you know, it's Dreamcast era, so, you know, it's relatively low poly, but it moves fast, so it doesn't really matter. And they do big set pieces. You're going to, like, jump onto a Ferris wheel and spin that thing around and shoot across the world. And, yeah, you don't get to choose where you go, other than the fact that the track does split at several points, so you can make a new path, go through. But it's mostly kind of a rhythm game, because you do that. It reminds you a little bit of Thumper, some of the moves. Very, like, you've basically got using the brakes, going around a corner, you release at the right time, you get a boost, a perfect thing, you can do a jump, when you're in the air, of course, like all trains, like being in the air, and when you're there, you start doing your kick flips and stuff because it is, as Tom said, a Tony Hawk game, basically. You can land into doing a mono and everything. In fact, the muscle memory of Tony Hawk did kick in pretty quick. It's different controls, but you get into that whole like, okay, I'm up in the air, I've got this long, I can put those tricks together and I can hold that and get your score up in there. You're jumping between different tracks. It's just very frantic, and it does a really good job of level by level for the first third, maybe more of the game, just constantly feeding you new little ideas to add to your little repertoire. So by the time you're getting near the end of the game, you're doing stuff constantly, and it is a manic game. And I'm bad at it because I am a middle-aged man. I don't, it's not like Tony Hawk days where I'm like, I'm going to do this level 700 times and now I'm going to nail everything. I'm like, I'm going to do this level once and it's still accessible enough for me to pass. If you are a score chaser, if you really want to get into it, all that stuff's there. But if you want to really, I cannot really emphasize how cool the game feels to move around in, and the world and the soundtrack. The soundtrack is huge, actually. I wonder if, funnily enough, so I got code to review the game. I pre-ordered the soundtrack before I'd even played the game. I was like, well, even if the game isn't great, I'm going to type the soundtrack because it's like 100 tracks long and like very, very cool.
And for a game like this, you kind of there's some big names in there as well in terms of like video game composers.
Yeah.
So you're going to see guys like Shoji Meguro, who does a lot of the Persona soundtrack and stuff like that. There's going to be a lot of fun, high energy vibes.
High energy Japanese pop, dance, punk going through. And it has quite broad already, it has quite a lot of variety, whilst always being that sort of 90s high energy. And, it has an actual funny script. At first, I heard there were a bunch of streamers and stuff in there, and that sort of turns me off a little bit generally. But they're not, they're not talking. They're just a picture, and they just look like a crazy post-apocalyptic person in a train world. So, fine by me. It doesn't bother me at all. Very snappy. Most of the songs on the soundtrack are about 2.5 minutes long, which gives you an idea of how long a level's generally going to take. In that very short thing, as long as you're not falling off all the time, which some people like me do.
They're just going to keep that outro loop going for a little bit
longer.
Yeah.
It's one of the things when we were talking about mixtape earlier in the year, especially when they do the Smashing Pumpkins song, Yeah, It's Love. And they're like, you're looping this bit a lot. Very accessible. It's on pretty much everything. PC, Switch, I'm playing it on PC on the Steam Deck, PlayStation, Xbox. It's everywhere. They've done an absolutely bang-up job. I didn't really have anything negative to say, because if you're not a score attack person, and I am not, it's still fun, and it has really big set pieces, the kind of thing where you just go, this is cool. One of the basic moves I didn't mention is that if you're in the air, you can slam the train straight down like a ground pound. And I didn't know I wanted that with the train. But I do.
You just want to slam back on those tracks. Get me back to snap back to reality.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm pretty sure there's demos out for this as well.
Yeah,
right?
I know
there was.
They're probably still active because it's just the first couple of levels of the game, and it will, if it's going to land for you, it will land quickly. It's very silly and very fun. So that is Denshattack. So check that out, and that is my very quick. Or quickish, I don't know. I don't have a timer going. It's hard to stop me from talking.
Believe us, we try.
I'm your host Paul, and joining me is Tom. And now we're just going to jump right into another one of those things we do where we talk about video games.
Yeah.
Heave Ho 2, the sequel to Heave Ho.
Yeah.
If you do not know Heave Ho, it is a physics-based multiplayer game where you're all just a head with two arms. You move one stick to control the direction of your arms, and then you use each trigger to hold down either your left hand or your right hand, and you help each other get across obstacles or hurt each other getting across obstacles. It's just some party madness, and one of my favorite multiplayer games of all time. You also aware of the first game, are you not, Tom?
Yeah, I played a whole bunch of that with some friends, And it's the kind of game that everyone has a great time laughing, playing, up until someone decides that they want to sabotage every run. And it is very funny to drop your friends.
It is, and when they fall off the screen, there's a huge, colourful blood spurt that comes up and stains the level. Because, like, betraying your friend at a tense moment is funny.
Yeah.
It can sometimes start becoming unfunny if they're not too, if they don't keep it under control. But definitely. So I really like the first game, and now we have a sequel. And what's different in the sequel? Well, from the outset, not a whole lot. We actually lose something. There is no longer the ability to play through the game solo. And the reason they did that is because I bet nobody played through the game solo. It's just not that fun by yourself.
No, it's not particularly interesting, and the obstacles that they can provide you on single player are fairly limited.
Yeah. So it's like all the levels have to be modified so that only one person can get across. Like there's a few tricks with physics, and you can pass gas, and that can give you a little boost, but it's very hard to pull off.
It's useful in the combat mode, though.
Yes.
But we'll get to that.
So can't do that other than the tutorial, but that's okay because it is a multiplayer game. They have also added online multiplayer now, which is good because of the modern era. I probably wouldn't, and from my attempts, didn't. Well, we'll get it. So the main game where you're just trying to beat levels, yes, that online with strangers. Not a good idea.
No, terrible.
Communication's hard. If you're playing on the Switch 2 and you have a camera, you can replace the face in the middle with your face.
That's fun. for all of the tens of people that bought the camera.
But that said, if you are playing with friends, you can also game share so they don't need to own it. So you can get online with friends with either the PC or the Switch version, because they're the only two that exist. And that's a good change, because we all know it's hard to get people together. So nice. But for the actual aggressive co-op competitive play, randoms are fine.
Yeah,
because you're every man for themselves.
Yeah. And like the challenges in that range from survive the longest when there's sticky bombs flying onto the stage. There's try and knock your friends off.
Just basic races, which is because in the chaos, someone else is in front of you, grab them.
Yeah.
And then they're carrying you
and climb up them. And there's also funny moments in those races where you're racing up a pillar to try and get to the lever at the top to win. And as the first person gets close to it, that lever has a propeller and it starts to just slowly fly away just out of reach and just kind of meander around the level.
It's a game that's very good at trolling. So what I kind of wanted to talk about with it. So it's more of the same. You got some good quality of life features there. So I played this the best way you possibly could with a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. A high school-based physics game. That's a good idea. And we get to the first level. I'm like, look, I don't know how many levels we get through, kids, but let's try. And the first level in all such games is basically walk across here and go to the exit. Oh no. The first level is a ski lift, and it's multiple sort of screens long, which is... Yeah, and every cabin going up there that you're climbing through has a character in it that will do something like sneeze and make the whole thing spin around or whatever. So the game starts interesting. And I got through that with my 4-year-old. I actually got through quite a lot of levels because every so often they just add something else to the levels. They go, okay, well, if one person gets to the end, a little joystick appears and you can start flying a little drone around. Maybe you can help someone with that. Eventually, they give you, everyone gets a balloon and all this sort of, they add things to let you get through on your own standard. And for me, it was trying to drag a little girl who barely got to understand the concept of the game. Levels took us 15 minutes plus.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to take you that long. But we did it.
Yeah, and I think these sorts of changes are based on what we were talking about before, where after a certain time when you're playing a game and you're kind of hitting your head against a puzzle and it's not quite working, that's when everyone starts to derail and start to sabotage one another, and then the game session generally ends possibly in a sour taste. And I think they probably heard a bit of feedback about that and were like, all right, people are falling off some of the further challenges. How do we keep that player retention for a bit longer? And I think this is a great way to do it.
There's a very creative, and as I said, so the first level's more interesting than you expect the first level to be, and I would say the variety of levels is much higher than the original game. The first section's in the snow area, it's just navigation primarily, but then you get into a lab and there's actual puzzles to solve and stuff. and then it gets quite wacky by the end, which is good. So it's more of the same, but better, more refined, and you just have more options. Everything is very accessible and thoughtful. And that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah.
Especially, I reckon 3 is the sweet spot. 4 if you can do it. Yeah. But that's just enough for people to really be serious, because one of the main challenges you get is each level will have like a coin or similar that's hard to get, and then you have to get it to the end, and that's hard because you only have one hand then, because you're holding a coin with the other hand.
So having a third pair of hands at least is what you kind of want for those extra challenges.
Yeah. Me playing with the first game with 2 friends, being very serious about getting all those coins was great fun, and especially, even though I say very serious, still sabotaging each other all the time because it's funny.
Yeah.
So, that is Heave Ho 2, available on PC and Switch. Switch 1 and Switch 2.
Yeah.
This is Zed Games. I'm Paul, that's Tom, and we're going to do another thing that we do. Played it before, they play it again, they play it again.
And again. So we are going to talk about Star Fox for Nintendo Switch 2. Now, for those of you at home, this is the latest Star Fox game, which is also one of the oldest Star Fox games.
which is the first Star Fox game that's been made 4 times now?
Yeah, so this is a remake of Star Fox 64, which was originally Star Fox 64 is retelling of the first Star Fox game on the Super Nintendo, and then they remade it for the 3DS, and then they did Star Fox Zero for the Wii U, which is a retelling of the Star Fox 64 story. And they've just...
it's just such a great story.
The story's fine, but anyway, this is like their surefire bet to have a successful, well-playing Star Fox game. And I've played through this game a whole bunch. I am a big Star Fox fan. And what I will say is this is mechanically, this is an impeccable Star Fox game. It plays exactly like you remember it on the 64. The only gameplay difference I will note is that I find it is actually easier to chain your combos together, and the targeting is less finicky. So in a way, I think it even more accurately represents what you remember Star Fox being like when you were younger and your reflexes were better. So this is like, you're not going to get as frustrated when you're trying to rack up those high scores. But as far as the gameplay goes, you'll play through your regular Star Fox routes with your secret endings and all that sort of thing as you fly your R-Wing through the Lilat system. And you finish the game, and what else is there to do? Now, the only new content that they've added to this is the challenge mode and the battle mode. So the challenge mode allows you to play through any of the levels that you've completed and attempt to complete extra objectives on top, sort of like an achievement style, like beat the first level in under 3 minutes. Make sure you fly through all of these rings and all that sort of thing.
Do they have any like interesting outside the box challenges?
There's a couple, but there's no new content being added. It's not like you're going to find anything that you wouldn't have been able to do in your first playthrough of the level. So that's there for people who are really into it. The online mode I actually found really fun. It plays in those snappy, fast matches like you get in a Splatoon game. The only issue is good luck trying to find any sort of online matches. In my session, I played for a few hours, repeatedly only getting matched up against one guy who just smoked me every single time. But yeah, anyway, it's what I will say is they did a faithful remake of the game. The game looks gorgeous. It looks fantastic. The soundtrack is incredible. It's remastered with like a full orchestra, and it lends itself really well to that space opera feel. It's like what they really wanted to get at with the 64. What I will say as my main criticism for the game is I think the voice acting is really lacking.
Yeah, it lacks the character of the original.
Yeah.
Which, it has become memed and everything, but maybe just be a little bit sillier with it. It's very dry.
It feels clean.
Yeah. Like
too clean. There's no wacky bosses. There's no crazy train driver with a Texan accent.
Yeah.
No one's hurling insults at you, calling you scum.
It was because I've only played the demo, and it started and it got a cutscene, and they put a lot of work into these cutscenes to tell this story, and they're very dry, and there's not a lot of character, and I'm skipping, and then the tutorial is so strict and just like, now hold this button. Oh, you didn't hold it long enough. I'm like, yeah, because I want to skip. Yeah, and I hated it. And then the game started. I'm like, oh, this is fun. It looks good and it's fun to play.
Yeah, and originally the game just taught you how to play as you played it, which is the best part. But yeah, so I think that's kind of what they're missing, is the real soul of the game, the characterization of it. Now, this is what I think, in my opinion, just to finish it up, is what you should maybe expect from the Ocarina of Time remake that's coming at the end of the year. I think Star Fox on Switch 2 is a version of Star Fox where they've gotten all of the juice out of this fruit that is Star Fox. They've used every single part of it, but they haven't added anything more to it, really. Yeah. And that's what I think you're going to see from the Ocarina thing. I think it's going to be a stellar, beautiful looking game, but I think there is a chance you'll lose some of the soul in that refinement.
Yeah, because it is... I am expecting it to be not quite the kind of game where you can push a button to change between, but all the much like Star Fox, all the layouts are the same. Everything's like all the geometry and everything. It's just fundamentally all the same, and just cleaning up a few things like changes we've already made to the water temple. Yeah,
extra equipment buttons.
Excellent.
Anyway,
okay,
that's Star Fox for Nintendo Switch 2.
The Zed Games. I'm Paul. And you won't believe it. Oh, sorry, Tom.
And I'm Tom. And we're about to do another review.
I was like, I can fit it in. Okay, I'm going to talk about a small Aussie game. This game's called Crabmeat. It came out earlier this year. It's by Nicholas McDonnell and Mitchell Passmans. It is in the genre of indie horror fishing game.
Hell yeah.
But it's very Aussie in the fact that whilst it certainly does fall into those horror tropes, it's pretty silly. And very deliberately so. So it starts with you being incarcerated. It says, looks like you overdrew your Mel Bank account by $655 and failed to repay the debt within the standard 48 hours. I hope that rent was worth it, mate. Now let's get your detention contract sorted out and we'll be off to the races. And then you have to sign your contract. They've created a futuristic Australia, the feudal state of Australia. The flag is now our existing flag, but without the Union Jack. It's just got the Southern Cross on it.
Sounds good to me.
You have been sentenced to the Southern Fisheries Penal Colony to perform hard labor. You have 1 week to get 500 kilograms of king crab. Otherwise... you will be terminated. And the Prime Minister who signed this is G.R. Palmer.
Oh. So
I see who they're going there.
Dark alternate future.
They've got, a few like brands and stuff on the boat where they've made, a funny take on it and such. But anyway, so you are solo on a fishing boat, a crab boat, and you have to drive around the ocean and get crabs. So it has one of my favorite things in games, which is just actual controls that you have to walk up to. So you're walking around the ship and I'm going to walk up to the deck and I'm going to push the throttle forward and do that. So there's no just driving. You actually have to use the controls. You have to get the crabs, things out. Yep. Now the weirdest thing about this game, and it's kind of why I love it, it's got a really not friendly control scheme. It's all mouse-driven. Mm-hmm. It's a first-person game, but there is no walking with Wasard.
Oh,
you have to click where you want to walk. If you want to turn around, you've got to click on the edges of the screen.
Oh.
And it all work like this. It reminds me of just sort of like the crazy stuff we get in the 90s where people were trying to work out what worked or not. Because this is a game that has combat in it.
Okay.
A giant crab might be on the ship. It's like, oh no, he ran past me. Quick, to the corners. Click, click, click. But it has all those systems that sort of, you sort of your iron lungs and stuff like that, where you're running this ship, things get damaged, you need to repair them, you got to go bait the traps. When you pull the crabs up, you only want crabs of a certain size, because even in this world, you can't get undersized crabs.
Yeah.
And they'll pull up other horrors from the deep as you do it, but you've got to sort them out and throw them as you're going.
That's not important. All you need is the crab meat.
Yeah, there's mystery things to find. You'll pull up treasures from the water and everything. I just have a joy of a time with it. It's both, as I said, playing into those horror tropes, but it is, on the whole, actually very funny. And I had a really, really good time playing it. And it's only on Steam because it's just a small indie game. It is, we're talking about $10 mark sort of thing. It's a few hours of play, mucking around. There's some silly stories, and if you like that sort of mechanical driven gameplay of like, I'm going to use this winch to get this and then do that, and then it satisfies that very well. I had a really, really lovely time with it. And that brings me to the end of Crabmeat. Okay, and that brings us to the end of the episode. So thank you for joining, everyone. Same bat channel, same bat time next week. Thanks for joining me tonight, Tom.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Paul.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, you can find us on the Community Radio Plus app.
Or find us on socials at Zed Games AU.
See you next time.